Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're taking a quick look here at a rotor function that we saw some questions for on the Reddit. Basically, what the users are trying to do is something that we've actually been experimenting with for a while now, was to have a dual rotor, or more rotors of course, that move in unison even though they are on opposite planes, or opposite facings rather. So what we have here is a light atmospheric Scout, which actually this particular rotor design was originally part of it, but then we went with the fixed wing afterwards. Alright, so what we're going to do is try to get these rotors to actually move so that the engines go from the vertical position as they are now to a forward position where they are accelerating us forward. It's a really simple process. So you can see we have the rotors already set to broadcast so we know which one's which. First thing you want to do is open up your K menu. Find your rotors. You want to select both of them at once and go ahead and create a block group. Just name it rotors. That's going to be used for your actual controls. Now the next thing you want to do is go ahead and move down and set your upper limit. First one you want to set to 90 because it's only a 90-degree turn you're going to make, and your lower limit to 0. Now this is usually the easiest way to start it out because now you actually are able to move both of those engines without having to worry about, or both of those rotors rather, without having to worry about them just spinning constantly, which can cause some severe issues as it just basically rips your craft apart or causes your landing gear to snap off. Now next what we're going to want to do is increase the velocity up to 60. And as you can see, both of them have rotated. One is facing the opposite direction. Obviously, that's because it's on the opposite side. But rotor 1 here, which is on the right side of the graph, left side of the screen, is operating as it should. We'll go to our G menu, go to Groups, right-click on the rotor group and tell it to reverse, and that'll get mapped to our 1 spot. So now when we hit 1, those rotors will switch directions. So we're part of the way there, basically a third of the way done with it. We've got one of the rotors working fine. Next we need to get rotor 2 working. So if rotor 2 is facing the opposite and moving in the opposite direction, we just need to basically reverse everything that's set on rotor 2. So we need to drop the upper limit from 90 to 0. And the lower limit will become negative 90. And then we will change the velocity to negative 60. So now they are both facing forward. Reverse our rotors again. Now they're facing vertical. Forward and vertical. Alright, now you don't want to just stop there. For a craft this small, you're going to want to go with a reduced speed for the change, because it can get a bit violent. So we'll go back to our rotors in general. Actually, no, it'll be better for us to just go ahead and go back to each individual rotor and then change it from a 6 to a 3, because otherwise we have to just redo the step where we reverse one of them if we did it with the group. Because if any changes you do to the group takes effect for everything in the group. So if we set it to 30 in the group, that would basically mean that we're setting the rotor number 2 to going back to going in the wrong direction. So you see it's a bit slower, obviously. Works a bit better, it'll just keep it stable. Now there's other issues inherent with flight from rotor systems and all that. Now if you're going to put engines on there, another step you want to do is to find those thrusters. And they're going to be off-colored, basically telling you that they're on an attached grid, but each one is separate. That's why they don't match up with each other either, because they're not on the same grid. So it's 3 grids total. White, of course, is your housed grid that you're in right now, and then, of course, you have the 2 various oranges for each additional grid. So we'll put our thrusters, put them in a group here. Now this we're actually going to do the entire group commands for. So we will go ahead and turn those blocks off. And thruster override, you can set it down to a low level or you can go all the way up with it. Either one is fine. And then basically what you're going to do next is map that group to toggle block on off. So this means if we're not parked, which we're going to stay parked basically because there's a lot of issues with rotors in flight. It doesn't work out quite so well because of the game engine. So we're going to keep it parked, but you'll see here, we turn those engines on, that would give us some vertical lift. And then we just rotate them, we turn them on again, that would give us our forward thrust. And you can keep them going while you're rotating. But that gives you pretty much a general idea how to set up the oscillating engines here on opposite sides of the craft. Hope that helps you out with your rotors and, of course, your thrusters and whatnot on other ends rotor connections if you so desire to try that out. Unfortunately, because of the game in this current state, this design is not feasible. You'll end up crashing. One fix for it is to use either merge box or landing gears on the end of either rotor to connect and lock into place. I have done that with previous designs, and it has worked out, but it's still a bit of a hassle. We'll come up with another design like that and show you guys further in detail in another video. Alright, hope that was informational or inspirational in some way, and of course, as always, have a good day.